Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, let us praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because of His bless and mercy. We can still attend in this webinar event. And then, let us greet and pray to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had brought us to path of light and left the darkness in this life.
And also, we would like to say thank you for joining this Institute Technology Sumatra International Webinar with this theme, Robotic and Latest Technology in the World, Work and Study in Japan.
Let us introduce ourselves. My name is Rian Ferdianto.
My name is Trivina Rohaini.
We are Master of Ceremony on this very special occasion.
Okay, let me begin by giving a warm welcome in international webinar to the Honorable Mr. Muhammad Farhan Firdaus as speaker.
The Honorable Mr. Swadeksi Istighfara ST as moderator. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain the structure of this webinar session as well. First, opening by Master of Ceremony.
Second, sing the national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Third, speaker speech and answer the question.
Fourth, the photo session.
And the last event is closing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's open this event by saying Basmalah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next event is Sing the National Anthem Indonesia Raya. I invite all participants to stand up in your room. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down.
Before we come the main session, let us start this praying first. So the event that will hold and they will run well without any issues at all. Pray based on individual belief begins.
Now we come in the main point, that is webinar question and answer session will be guided by Mr. Swadeksi Istighfara as moderator. He is a lecturer of electrical engineering and mentor of robotic unit of Institute Technology Sumatra. To Mr. Swadeksi Istighfara, time and place are yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you Rian and Vina for the time. Okay, my name is Swadeksi Istighfara. I will guide the next session of this international webinar. Firstly, I want to say hello to Mr. Farhan Firdaus. Hello, Mr. Farhan.
Hello.
How are you today?
Hello. Can you hear?
Yes, how are you today, Mr. Farhan?
Yes, I am fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. How are you? And all.
And also, we will say thanks to our international webinar participant from Indonesia, from Bangladesh, Philippines, and also Japan. Hello. Okay, then let me introduce Mr. Muhammad Farhan Firdaus. Okay, Muhammad. Okay, Mr. Muhammad Farhan Firdaus is a founder and chairman of Japan Bangladesh Robotic and Advanced Technology Research Center, or GBRATRC, that Fukui in Japan. GBRTRC has been established with collaboration of different national and international researchers to spread the knowledge of robotics and advanced technology in Bangladesh and also at other countries of the world. GBRTRC are working on developing a research community on robotic and advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, drone, IoT, machine learning, and other technology. For more information, you can visit the website that www.gbratrc.com. Mr. Farhan completed his diploma of Mechanical Engineering in Dhaka Polytechnic Institute in December 2008. And he is complete his Bachelor of Science in Mechatronic Engineering in 2013 in World University of Bangladesh, Dhaka, Bangladesh. And then he's complete his Master of Science in Information Science Robotics area in September 2018 in JAIS, or Japan Advanced Institute of Science and Technology. This is the contact of Muhammad Farhan Firdaus. If you have any question, you can email Mr. Muhammad at farhan.firdaus2018@gmail.com. Okay. The professional experience currently, Mr. Muhammad Farhan Firdaus is working as engineer in robotic section in Onodani Machines, that location in Fukui, Japan. Research of Mr. Muhammad Firdaus, you can see that it's about robotic and technology. Okay. Before we start the webinar session, if you have any question, you can write down in chat room. In the question and answer session, I will choose some question to be asked to Mr. Farhan. So this is to minimize the microphone issue or another issue from participant when asking. Okay. Okay. Maybe we can begin our speaker presentation by Muhammad Farhan Firdaus about robotic and latest technology in the world, work and study in Japan. Please begin, Mr. Farhan.
Thank you, Swadeksi lecturer, for your nice introduction about me. And now I'll start our today presentation. So can you see?
Yes. Yes.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank to Allah to join in this international webinar as a speaker, and assalamu alaikum, and thank you all to join this international webinar. I am grateful to this electrical engineer department, ITERA robotics unit at at Sumatra Institute of Technology to invite me and present on robotics and advanced technology in the world and job and study in Japan. So I am happy to know that this university students are very much interested to know to higher education in Japan, also research and how to get job in Japan. So I will present about it today. So nowadays we are facing, the world is facing the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic situation. So we must be careful about it and we can keep our safety. So today our topics I already told, and robotics and advanced technique in the world and job and study in Japan. And I am Mohammad Farhan Firdaus. Now I am living in Japan and doing job as an engineer robotics in a company in Japan. And I am living in Fukui in Japan. I have already completed my master's from Japan Advanced Institute of Technology, robotics area, School of Information Science. So we have an organization whose name is the JBRATSG, Japan Bangladesh Robotics and Advanced Technology Research Center. We have some objective and aim with this organization, and this organization is a non-profit and non-government organization, and we are doing some research and innovation, and we are developing some project with some robotics, also IoT, some drone, machine learning, big data, and some others area. And our another aim is that to create a research development community to over the all, not only in Bangladesh, also some Muslim countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, also India, also USA, Canada, and Japan. This type of country we are trying to do it, and we already organized some international conference in Bangladesh, also some joined some international conference in also USA, also India, and some other country. We already done some local seminar in Bangladesh, some top university in Bangladesh, and we have a aim to already aim is to set up a company in the future. We are trying about it. Also we are produce some product about the artificial intelligence, robotics, machine learning, big data device, some medical and toys, entertainment, this type of and agriculture. So we want to contribute in the future. So we are trying with our team. So I am showing a video about our organization activities. We have already done some activities in Bangladesh and also others country. And this last year we already organized a drone training session and in our East West University, Dhaka, Bangladesh. So many students joined this on, and our trainer trained in this session. So and also international media, Voice of America also cover our news. Also the students know about many things, and some know about new things, and many and also some media in Bangladesh, also Bangla newspaper, also some television media also telecast our news and our event, our workshop seminar on the robotics and other advanced technology. This is our team member made this robotics hand, and this robotics hand can work which is difficult for human, and then this robot can work in the dangerous situation, and where is the fire object is a fire object, then this robot can take on, and we can easily work with this robotics. And also our team member made this type of prototype, this cleaning robot. It can clean our home, and this cleaning robot is very much important nowadays because the coronavirus is everywhere. So we must be keep our clean our home and our office and others place. And our team also doing research on the drone. So how we can we can use the drone in the disaster areas like floods, at like any type with the any type fire happen, then how we can use this drone. We are doing to research about this drone. So we are if any student or any professor or any type of person want to join this on our organization, then they can contact our website www.jbratrc.com. So our we are also joined some international conference in Bangladesh. This on is a Bangladesh ICIT, and our member also made this robot. This robot is a Bongo robot. I show details about it. This robot can talk with you, and any type of question it can answer. And this is the smart window, and this smart window with the IoT system, so it can automatically open and close with the weather. And this one we already published in the IEEE, and we joined the international conference in USA last year. So this type of machine can automatic bottle refill system. If you can give the bottle here, and this machine can use the return some money with the bottle. So this one is the very much environmental friendly machine nowadays. And we are doing another some project as like the firefighting robot. It can protect the fire, and also a smart lock system. We cannot use any key, and we can use our mobile phone and our some remote. We can open the lock. And also I already told we are doing some research on the drone on the agriculture side, and also the firefighting drone. We are doing to research on it, how we can use it and how we can apply in the real world. And last year, our team members and me joined this international conference in USA, in the Eastern Washington University and Washington Eastern University in USA. And I present a paper on the passive dynamic robot, Bipel robot, the humanoid robot, mathematical and simulation result. And our team show his poster about the Bongo robot. I already talked about it, and I got some certificate in our team members this picture, and our team member present his research in this international conference. And this one we organized it jointly organized in another top university in Bangladesh, East West University, Bangladesh, last year, ICACRT. This means the International Conference of the Advanced Science and Engineering and Robotics Technology. And also we have done some international RoboFest with this session with jointly. And our Prime Minister of Bangladesh also give message to us for this international conference and RoboFest. And we bring some international researcher and professor from the Korea, Japan, and India and other countries. So some minister also went to as like the guest in this international session and international conference. And many people joined this international conference and this RoboFest. And also in our top university in Bangladesh, Dhaka University, we are also doing some IoT and robotics workshop and seminar hand-on workshop in artificial intelligence. So many people also join this session. They can learn something. And many newspaper in Bangladesh also news about me. And when I went to Japan and I study on robotics and research on robotics, also when I do our organization work, and they can show in the news. And some also some television, also Bangladesh is the top television in Bangladesh, and some radio also show our news and interview me about our organization, about myself. And now I am discussing about the main session. So what is the mechatronics? So without the mechatronics, we cannot do the robotics, because if you want to make a robot, so you need to many things. So there need to electrical, also some mechanical, some robotics, some electronics, some software part, telecommunication part, some control, and other type of information technology need if you want to make a robot. So mechatronics engineering can describe some many type of area. I have completed my BSc engineering in mechatronics engineering from Bangladesh, and this is the some control system, some control electronics, electronic system, also some mechanical system. If you can do that onto interested design, then you can design your robot, and you can design your robotic device or other type of artificial intelligence device by the CAD/CAM and also some SolidWorks software. So it is very much important to learn the mechatronics engineering if any chance. Then what is the robot? Because I already told robot is not on things. It need to the combination things. So the information science, the computer science, mechanical, electrical, electronics, and everything is engineering is need for make a robot. So if you want to design, then there needs a design and constructions. And if you need to give the artificial intelligence to robotics, so you must be know about the software. So there are many area about application and research on the robotics. So there are some military purpose nowadays in Boston Dynamics in USA. They are trying to do some military robot they are testing, and some industrial robot in Japan. I am doing job in industrial with the industrial robotics machine. So every day I am stay with the 10 to 12 hour. I am working with this robot. And some agriculture robot, I already told my team also made an agriculture robot. This robot can help to agriculture. This robot can give the water to the field and others type of help. This type of agriculture robot, also some medical robot, because nowadays the coronavirus is the dangerous situation in the world. So medical robot is very much important. This robot can help to move the medicine one place to another place, and also move your food one place to another place. Then the people cannot evicted. Many people cannot evicted because nowadays if you are closing very near, and if you mix near, then it is dangerous for the coronavirus. So medical robot is very much important. Also some domestic robot, I already told our team made a robot in some domestic purpose. It can clean your room. So this type of robot, and nano robot, some small type of robot, and the swarm robot also, and some the autonomous drone. I already told about the drone. We are doing to research on it, and also the sports field. Some people can make the toy, robotics toy. And there are many type of robots in the world. So I already told the industrial robot. So there are wiring robot. I am doing with this robot. You can see a picture. So this type of robot can assembly the car. So in Japan, there is a Panasonic or some Toyota company or some others Honda company, big company. They are using the wiring robot or some assembly robot that this robot can assemble the car. Then it is very much time effective, and we can smoothly the robot can smoothly do this work, because if you use the human, but the human cannot do the work very smoothly, but robot can do it smoothly, and it take the lowest time. So there are some material handling robot, also industrial robot. Some robot can inspection. If you have any type of defect, then this robot can find out and solution it, and improving the productivity. I already told the if you apply the robot, then it can take the less time, and it can productivity with high productivity. We can do the high material, because in Japan they use the robot, and they can get the high product and high quality product, because they and their product is very much not cheap, and this product is very much expensive, because they apply the robot, they use the robot in their industry and for the high type of product. And we can also do some application in the our laboratory, because we are doing some research and also some experience with the robot and robotics hand, also robotic eye, also robotic leg and robotic arm. I will discuss about later. And there are some other type of robot. I already told the educational robot. The educational robot is the some robot is the RoboLab, Lego, and this robot can help to the child. They can play with the robot. They can spend time with the robot. And some the domestic purpose, we are design some robot can do the make some cook, also make some special menu for you in the future. And this type of domestic robot, and also some domestic robot can clean your room. And in this coronavirus situation, we are in Japan. There are also other country. We are apply, or we are using some robot with some different type of purpose. And first picture we can see in the graduation ceremony, the student cannot go the physically in this in the graduation ceremony, so the robot can take certificate behalf of the student, and this one. And also the robot can show their video by their tab or mobile phone. And also the second one, also this name is the Pipa robot in Japan. So this robot is very popular nowadays in Japan. There may be almost 10,000 pieces. They already sold out in the over the wall. Also some in America, some Australia, Canada, also Japan, Germany, or some other type of developed country, they sold out. And this type of robot is we can see in the shopping mall and some office in this type of robot in Japan. And this robot in coronavirus, they are using for the greet to the Japanese coronavirus patient in the hotel, and they can learn how you can wear the mask, and how we can use the hand wash and clean your hand, how we can clean your face, and how we can take the distance from one to another, social distance in the coronavirus situation. So this robot can take you some lesson about it. And the last one we can see the Tommy robot, and this is the Italy robot. This robot can help in as a nurse in the patient. They can give the medicine. They can take some test, and some they can give you food. And this type of helping robot now using in the coronavirus situation, because if you use the robot, then the coronavirus is not spent on people to another people. So in Japan and some others developed country, they are using the robot for this coronavirus situation. And there are some robotics fundamental component. Without this component, we have no knowledge about this component. We cannot know how we can make robot, and how we can knowledge, and how we can research about it. So that the manipulator means this robotics hand, and this some link, some joint structure. We need to learn about some mathematics, some physics, about how we can calculate this type of robot. And some end effector is the last large joint of the hand. This type of robot we are doing to some research about it. And we must be know about some actuator, because every robot has an actuator. There are some servo motor, the stepper motor. There are some hydraulic cylinder, pneumatic cylinder, and there are also knowledge about the sensor, because we must be use the sensor in the robot. So there are many type of sensor to communicate with one robot and internal. And so we can use some the ultrasonic sensor, some fast sensor, or some touch sensor, and some temperature sensor. So we can use this one in the robot. And there are need to like about the controller. So we must be need to learn about it, how we can control the robot, and how we can control the actuator, and how we can control the robotic leg or some other type of robot. And the processor, it is the one type of brain of the robot, because without the processor, this robot cannot calculate the motion and how velocity and how many distance it can cover. So the processor is very much important for a robot, because this is the brain of the robot. And last one is the software. So we must be learn about it, the software. So without software, we cannot do some programming for robot. So there are many programming language in the world, but the fundamental programming is the Python, Java, Ruby, programming C, C+. This type of programming we need to learn about it, and we need to learn how we can make the programming in robotics. So we can see some example in some Google and some YouTube or some other place. We can see this type of programming in robotics, then we can learn about it. And the artificial intelligence, the AI, the artificial intelligence is very much important for a robot, because without artificial intelligence, if you tell a robot, please bring me tea for me, but if the robot don't understand, then it cannot take for tea or coffee for you. If you tell, please bring me a medicine for me or bring me food, but this robot cannot understand, then the robot cannot bring for you. So if you do the programming with the artificial intelligence, so this robot can understand our speech reorganization, some decision making, or some the virtual communication as like the human intelligence. So we have a natural intelligence from our Allah, then but robot have no intelligence, because if you do not give the intelligence to the robot, so the robot have no intelligence, because human can create the robot. So we must be need to give the artificial intelligence to a robot. And there are many type of application of the artificial intelligence like the AI. So we use in the entertainment area, some the educational purpose, some agriculture purpose, some healthcare, some game, finance, and social media nowadays in Facebook, Twitter, Skype. They use the artificial intelligence for their website and for their social media. Also some automotive means this on the automobile, some car we are using some robot, automation car, also some robotics, humanoid robot, some is the healthcare robot or entertainment purpose. We are using the artificial intelligence. And also another thing is very important, this also the latest technology. So nowadays then IoT, Internet of Things. So Internet of Things is a system. So it is the device to and mechanical provide with the unique, and we can connect with one robot to another robot, IoT. So without the internet connection, we cannot do to connect a robot, because I will show our robot. Without the Wi-Fi or internet, our robot cannot tell you, ask, understand the question, and the robot cannot give you the answer, exact answer. So it is very much important. So there are many type of field, embedded system or wireless sensor network, control system, automation system. We are apply this type of Internet of Thinking. And there are many application of the IoT, the transport, good management, and some the grid management in our electricity. We can use this on some smart city, some using the sensors, some using the parking management, also some smart building we can, and some the consumer. So we can use in some kit or tracker. Also the some industry we are using now in the robot, some automation robot, this type of IoT device, and some environment, food monitoring, and climate. Also we are using this one in the agriculture sector in the IoT. And I am showing now a video for the most advanced robot nowadays.
Despite taking people's jobs, Robots have been proven to be
and
essential in
and
improving
some robot
efficiency,
is take your as like the courier service. They are doing some.
Manufactured by Agility Robotics, Digit is envisioned to help take care of people in their homes.
And it can bring Ford company. They make this type of robot in the USA. So this robot can bring as. And this robot is also the Pipa robot, is Japanese robot. I already told about it. This robot can dance and also give you some direction in this coronavirus situation and give direction how where you can go and where is this shop, and some robot can give you the ice cream, and some robot this type of Munich, Germany, they show the Japanese robot, and this robot already sold out about the 10,000. And this robot can give you the entertainment. And this one is the Boston Dynamics USA robot, and this robot can using the military purpose, and they are testing about this robot. It is very intelligent and they are very strong robot. And this robot also a Boston Dynamics robot in USA. They are using some camera in the front of the robot, and robot can go one place to another place without help of the human. And some robot can do the dangerous or some drilling or grinding or some nailing, this type of mechanical work do by this robot. This one also made by the Japan. And this one also the eyes, this also in Japan or some Korean robot in here.
The fourth generation of Serena humanoid robots developed by the University of Tehran in Iran.
This robot in the Irani robot, and this one is the underwater this robot. And this robot is help to help one place to another place or some object. And this type of robot is using in some nowadays in the Amazon company. So, and this robot can help and they have some wheel on the leg. And this robot can take the heavy material or heavy object one place to another place very easily. And this also the Boston Dynamics robot in the USA. They are testing it. And this robot is made by our team member. This robot is a Bongo robot. This robot we show in last year in USA. So this robot is the agriculture. This robot is the agricultural. This robot is the architecture of this robot, and we are using some servo motor and some Arduino, and camera we are using here. We are trying to use the camera in here, and some lead and sound box. And this this robot, there is a video in this robot. So now this robot can talk with Bangla, but we are trying to do the English. If you ask any type of question or any type of thing, if you tell take the bottle, then robot can take the bottle. If you tell hold out the bottle, and this robot can hold out the bottle. So this robot can do by your voice direction. This robot can this robot one kind of the artificial intelligence robot, and our team made this robot. So using the camera, some Raspberry Pi, microphone, also Arduino device, sound box, Bluetooth, servo motor, also Arduino, some light emitting diode lead. And our team also made a robot whose name is the education robot. So we are using this type of robot in our education purpose. So children can learn from this robot some characters, some ABC, or some calculation this robot can do, and can play with the children and dancing. Some interesting lesson we are showing the video. And this is the Bangla now, but we are trying to do is the English. So if you tell some character ABC or something, the robot can do it. If you tell this tell this robot, you can tell the poem, tell the story. It can talk with the now Bangla language. If you tell some calculation, some general calculation is the summation of the minus plus of this type of robot can do it. And it can also the dance, it can also sing a song, and it can also tell unknown question. If you ask about the Indonesian Prime Minister name, it can tell. If you tell the capital city of Indonesia, it can tell. So many type of unknown object or unknown things or unknown person, it can tell by their artificial intelligence. And also they are use the Wi-Fi without the online. This is an online robot. So it can, if you tell this robot can move the head, this robot can move the hand, its robot can dance. And now I am telling about a very harsh subject in the robotics, the robotics dynamic. I have some research in this, my master's degree of the robotics dynamics. So the robotics dynamics is on kind of robotics dynamics is on kind of dynamics. There's this is the tell the acceleration, also tell with you the how we can calculate the robot and how we can simulate the robot. So we must be know about the mathematics, about the know some other mathematics, about the physics, and also dynamics. We must be learn about it. We must be know about it before calculate it. And there are two type of dynamics. First one is the forward dynamics. When we give the force, then this robot that can work out the acceleration, and inverse is the opposite dynamics. And if you give the acceleration, then we work out the force. And now I am showing a video, because nowadays in Japan there are many people in old people. So this type of helping robot is very important, the healthcare robot nowadays in Japan, because many people in here is the old people. So this type of robot can help people to move one place to another place without the help of the humans. So some company made this type of helping robot for old person, and this person can go one place to another place without the help of any human, and this robot can help. And this type of robotic limb or robotic device or some wheelchair robot. And they are testing some device, and the Cyberdyne, this type of company produce this type of product, robotics product. So this robot can help to place one place to another. This robot can help to move one place to another place. This on the many type of this company Cyberdyne, they made this type of robot. So he is the CEO of this company. He made this type of helping robot. And this type of wheelchair or helping robot to help a old person in the hospital. So now I am again moved to the robotics dynamics. So this is a critical. There are we use some mathematical, some simulation, some software in here to produce the dynamics, mathematical and simulation result. So there are mathematical calculation in the mathematical model, and there we have some passive biped robot, means they are using no motor, no control, passive only, but under actuated, but they are using the motor, but after the degree of freedom, DOF. So there are after the mathematical calculation, we can get the numerical simulation, and also we can analyze the working mechanism and how we can establish the working robot. This was my master's research, and I have done also some artificial intelligence research in my master's. And this one is the for DOF model, and I already told the DOF, degree of freedom, and for DOF means X, Z, theta, and theta. To this one is the Ford Dynamics model, and this is the passive because we did not use any motor in this robot. Only this robot can work on the gentle slope, and this one is some angle. So this is the point X and Z, 2 point, and there is 2 angle, theta 1 and theta 2. There is the angle of between 2 legs, is the alpha, the hip mesh, and this is the 2 mesh of the 2 leg is the same, and this is the name, this leg name is the swing leg, stance leg, and this leg is the swing leg because it is the on the floor, not floor. And there are we are using some parameter in this robot, and also we calculate some equation of motion by Newton the third law and the Lagrangian equation of motion. And this type of equation know that this mathematics, and this is the velocity product and gravity term. And even when we calculate by our hand, or also we can use some software as like the mathematical software, then we can get this final result. This is the mathematics, and this is the velocity product. We can get this. We can get this final result. And I am showing a simulation. I develop it. This one, this is the stable robot. This without motor. This is the passive. It can work on only the slope ground. There is some angle, so it can without fall down. It can work on the gentle slope. And this robot is the Nagoya Tech 2005. This robot is a record robot. Is the 4,000 step in about the 35 minutes. So I am showing this video. So this one also passive. There is no motor, only the gentle slope. It can work. So is the about the 4,000 step, about the 35 minutes. So Nagoya Tech in Japan, they made this robot. It's a passive dynamic robot. There is no motor. So after 30 minutes, it can after 35 minutes it fall down, this robot. And this robot, they designed this robot. And last year I have presented in the robot passive motion of biped robot with the unbalanced masses in USA, Eastern Washington University and Washington State University in USA. We have an international IEEE paper in the IEEE library. In this paper, you can see about the details. And we went to our 3 member in USA last year, and we presented this is my research and the passive dynamic, because in last on I give the 2 same mesh, but in this case I applied 2 different type of mesh. This is the M1 and M2. If M1 is the 5 kg, but M2 is the M2 kg, 10 kg, then this robot can work, because I want to apply it who have no no leg of who have cut the leg in the accident in the human. So we can apply this type of robot. And if your real leg is the 5 kg, but your artificial leg is the 10 kg, but the human can work easily, or human can work without a fall down. So I already proved in the mathematical simulation result, and I already presented in USA last year. And I use there is a dimensional equation is the m1 this one, and by m2 is the beta, and total mass is the total eta is the this is the hip mass. MH is the same as last one, and m1 m2 this one. And this is some simulation result in this simulation result in this robot. And this is the step plot I compare with step number. So there are total 50 step number, but I have used a different type of parameter, this one. And this one is the phi, this one is the phi and gentle slope angle. And I used a different type of three type of slope, 0.06, 0.04, and 0.03 radius. Then we can then I can get this one, because we get the very good result in this this one in the 0.06 and 0.06. So we use also some different type of slope, but there are different type of parameter. The working speed with the step number, there are also the 50 number, and we got this one, and the result is good in when use the 0.06 this one. And also use some different parameter. M1 mass is the 2 kg, but M2 is the leg, another leg mass is the 5 kg, but hip mass is the 10 kg, and slope is the 0. And then we can got this result. And where the this one beta is the 0.05 is the good result, then another 2. And also we are compare with the working speed with the some step and beta. We use the this last one, this one. We use the leg mass ratio beta in here, so we can got this this one. This result is good for the 0.067 and 0.05 this one. And this one is the another paper I already this is also the IEEE New York published in the you can get is in the IEEE library. And this title is the stable working of an under actuated bipedal robot with the balances masses using one actuator, because actuator is need for every robot, but it is challenging only one actuator. But this robot can work on the level ground or slope ground. But under actuated means degree of freedom. But if there is a 5 degree of freedom, this one is 2 degree, this on theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3, there are 5 degree of freedom, but we only use on motor or actuator. So this is the called the under actuated robot. So we only use in the on control. This is the U, means the torque of the motor. So we only use the on motor, and we are using some parameter for this robot. And this is the leg length of the total length is the length of the torso, 0.8. This one is the length of the LT, and this is the alpha. This one is the angle between two leg, and this is the constant 9.8 ton gravity G. And M1 and M2, this is the H, and MT is the torso mass, this one MT. And the KPD is the K and PD is we use for 409 and 20 PD controller. And the initial condition means this is the X, Z, and this is the theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3. This is the position, and after we differentiate it, this is the velocity 0, 0, 1, on. This is the velocity. So the initial condition is very much important. Without initial condition, without initial condition, the robot cannot work. It can fall down, must be fall down. And this is the simulation result. I made this simulation result by the MATLAB software. So we use here the parameter 0.0 on, and where the alpha is the 5/12 radius, and we can got this type of graph. The theta and theta on Stanslet angle with that, compare with the time, we can get this is the stable, and we can get the theta 2 with the time. We can compare. Theta 2 means swing length angle. We can also see this is also stable. And this is the theta 3 is the angle of the torso. So this one angle of the torso, theta 3. So we can compare with the time. So we can get this not very stable. But in the angular velocity, this one, after differentiating the angular velocity, this one is not same level, and but D2 is some same level angular position velocity of the swing leg angle, and this is the control output. Compare with the time, so we can get this also the stable, the control output. And this is the we can also compare with the some. This is the level ground, but last one we compare with some. We compare with not level ground, some slope ground. But in this session, this is the level ground, and this robot can work one place to another place without fall down, and we can see. This type of graph is the same, and this theta 2 also same. And there are some industrial robot in Japan. They are using it, and in 2005 there are 43.9 unit of robot they are using in Japan. This is the highest, and this is the lowest. It is 2009. And they are using almost 2016 38.6 unit robot they are using in Japan, because I am doing job in a company in Japan and robotics unit. So in mostly company in the a small medium company to largest company, they are using robot in their factory because this robot can give you the high level of product, and it can take some time to produce your item. So it is very important. And some company or Japanese, Denso, Fanuc, and Hitachi, Kawasaki, Komatsu, Sony, Toshiba, Yamaha, Yasaka Electronics, they are doing, they are making some industrial robot for some industry. And this is innovation of, I am showing a video how they can using robot in their factory, in their working place. So it can the robot can using some visual camera, or using some robotics hand to take on object one place to another place. Also this time and cost spent, this the starting point and this is the goal point. So this type of robot can take a item one place to another with very short time, but human can, if human can do in this area or in this size, so it take many times. But it is this robot can do is very lowest time. So and very much high product they can give, and they can arrange some time of object, some time of product very well, and without any wrong and without any mistake. So it is, they are using robot in Japan in many company, and the human need here to control the robot and give how rearrange the robot, how we can, how the robot can work. So if you have a efficient worker, then the then you can control a robot without without efficient worker, you cannot control a robot, because skill is very much important to control a robot. So if you mistake something, then this robot can fall down and this robot can break, because this type of robot is very much costly robot. And in many company they are using robot in Japan, and some another country in German, Korea, also USA, some Canada, they are using the robot in their factory, in their industry, to produce their item. So this is the industrial oiling robot. I am doing work with this robot. This robot can make some machine to join machine. So they can do in the environment. It's a very dangerous situation. The robot can do work, some oiling, some type of join, some type of make part of the machine, some type of complete machine. This robot can make automatically. If you set up the mechanical setup and control, then this robot can do it automatically. This name is from the Kawasaki company. This type of robot can do oiling robot in the some industry in Japan and some other high technical country. And this robot can do the automatically. It's already programmable robot, and if you can set up is the all things in the mechanical setup, then this robot can automatically do this work. Now I am studying another part. The study in Japan, how the student can study from your country or others country. So there are some system in education system in Japan. First one is there are some elementary education, is the 6-year education, and the second education is the 3-year. After you pass the elementary school, then you can enter the secondary education, is the 3-year, and you can upper secondary school, and thereafter you can complete your secondary education. Then you can enter some high level education institute, as like the College of Technology, also the professional training college, some specialist training as like the robotics, IoT, also machine learning, also mechanical, electrical, this type of professional training college, some junior college also, and university level, because in Japan the university level is called our BSc level or undergraduate level, and also the graduate school. This some student, if you complete your undergraduate or you complete your BSc engineering or some other field, then you can enter the graduate school, and this graduate school you can complete your master's or PhD level, and this is the high level degree, this is the highest degree. So you can complete from the graduate school in Japan. And there are some procedure how you can apply in Japan. In education and institute, some university. First you can search your university. There are many websites you can search in Google, and you can see many national university and some private university in Japan. Then you can firstly you can search your field or your lab or your subject. If you do the electrical engineering or mechanical, or if you are interested robotics, IoT, machine learning, so you can search your lab, or you can search your field, or you can search your exact subject or your perfect subject. Then you can you can make a mail and cover letter to the professors or some universities, and you can make your CV then you can send mail to the professors, and in this, by this time you can make some document. I will tell about this next slide about its details, and you can communicate with the professor about, you can show your interest about their lab. If you have some research or some project, if you already done in your university, then you can write them. It is my previous project, but in my case, I have complete a research and project in Bangladesh in the mechatronics, in the automatic robotics car. This robot can go one place to another place, and if you have some obstacle, this robot can stop. And if you have some high density of light, then this robot also can stop. And if you have no object, then this robot can also move one place to another place, this type of project. So if you have any project or any things, any research, so you can show to, and you can write your letter and convey the professor as convey the university. Then you can write a research proposal, and you can need some certificate about the English, and prepare some document and some proposal letter, or some, you can need to some research proposal, which field you want to interested, and what type of research you want to do. If you want to do some medical robot, or if you, example, if you want to do some IoT product, if you want to do some industrial robot, or robotics hand, or robotics leg, or robotics working, or robotics eye. So you can write your proposal. In a specific proposal you need, because specific you need to present it after, if the professor or some university accept you, then you must be presented by the Skype or some others other software. So there are many, some maybe 3 to 5 professor will present in your proposal presentation, so they can see it. You can make this proposal presentation by the PowerPoint, and you can make your proposal research proposal by your Word. So you can do some presentation. I already told the Skype interview or something. If they will choose you, then you can do it, because if you prepare all things, then it is very easy. So now I am telling what type of document need for the university admission in Japan, or some, if you want to take some scholarship, and if they will choose about some scholarship, as like some makes scholarship in Japan is, and also some lab funding, and some lab assistant also, teacher's assistant, this type of fund you can get, or departmental fund you can get. And first of all, you need to prepare a letter of recommendation from your dean or department head from your university, and need some photograph, a specific photograph. You can see some website about it, and complete a curriculum vitae, or CV is very much important. Biodata or CV is very much important to show your skill. So if you have some completed project, or if you have doing your job, or if you are your study, you can show all thing. If your skill, your which software you know, or which project you completed. So you can show all thing in this curriculum vitae in the CV. And also need the passport is very important, and the transcript, your grade sheet is important, because if you have above 3, then maybe you can apply for a scholarship or some admission. But if you have a point of the 3.5 out of 4, this is very much good for you. It is very much advantage, and you must need the 70% mark if you apply the university or a scholarship. And you need to your certificate, your bachelor certificate or diploma certificate. If you want to do your bachelor in Japan after your diploma, then you need to your diploma certificate, all certificate. And if you have bachelor degree from your country, then you must need your certificate from the bachelor certificate. Also, so some proof that if you are outstanding performance, because if you are third place or second place of your point is very much high, 3.8 or 3.9 out of 4, this is very outstanding performance. This is very advantage for your to get the scholarship or some admission. And also your research proposal is very important, as thesis or research project. Your graduation or your diploma research proposal is very important to enter the university in Japan. And you can write the statement of purpose about yourself, because you can show yourself how what is about your university or your working place or your some project which skill is very good for you. You know about some software, you know about some electrical or mechanical or some device or something. So you can write here the statement of purpose, or your interest is the prospective in your future interest, research interest, you can show in the statement of purpose. Also need a prospective research proposal, because you in Japan, mainly in Japan, there are many lab-based education, because there is a professor, so they have many students, or 10 students or 20 students, 30 students. So you must be need a specific proposal which is interest your professor or your university. So you write a proposal, must be write a good proposal. Without good proposal, the professor or some university does not like you. So it is must be important to write a research proposal, which is your future plan, which is your future research project and research thesis, this on. And some language proof is very much important. It is need some certificate as like the ICE, as like the TOEFL, as like the JLPT, if you want to on to Japanese, because in Japan the bachelor degree I know the mostly bachelor degree in Japanese, but some university, some private universities of some place, there are some university is the English, but in the masters and doctor, there are many university in Japan is English, but some university, if you want to interested in Japanese, then you can learn is the Japanese language. So it is very much important to learn Japanese if you want to come to Japan with the study and also job. And also the financial document is important. If you are you did not get any type of scholarships, then you can prove you have a ability to study in Japan your own finance. So if you have any bank solvency certificate or money in your bank, so it is important to financial document. And also the healthcare certificates, if you have no any type of disease, so you can prove. So this type of certificate need from some hospital in your country. And and there are some funding opportunities and scholarship and some internship in Japan. And when I went to the first time in Japan for the 3 months, then they invited me as a researcher. So they give the JASHO scholarship in the Japan Student Service Organization. You can get from more than 80,000 yen every month. This on for and there are some JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency. They give some scholarship, and some bank of the ADB in Japanese and Asian Development, they give also scholarship in, if you interested to study in Japan. And the MEX, this scholarship is very much important, and this is the most amount scholarship in Japan. And many Bangladeshi, also some Indonesian or some others, Malaysian or some other countries, people get this type of scholarship in every year. So you can try in the Ministry of Education, Culture, and Sports. You can see their web page, in the MEX web page, there is scholarship. And there are some lab funding. There is, if you are a master's student, then lab can provide you some LA, lab assistant. Also, if you are a doctor student, then the lab can provide you the teacher's assistant, this type of funding. And there are some private scholarship. in Japan. If you know very well Japanese, then you can get the private scholarship, because they need mostly write to Japanese, also understand the Japanese if you want to get this type of a scholarship. And there are some private funding, because if you are interested to study in Japan, then you must be proof you have enough money to study here. If you are a private finance student, if you have no scholarship or any others money, so if you must be sure is the private funding means. And the part-time job, there are many part-time job in Japan. If you know the Japanese, then it is easy to get some part-time job. I know some student from Bangladesh or some Indonesia or some other country, they got the part-time job and they can cover their study, they can cover their food, they can living cost, they can cover from their part-time job. And some university also give you the some discount or in your tuition fee, 50%, 30% or 80% they can discount you from your tuition fee. And there are some scholarship from the MEX, also the embassy recommendation, also the university recommendation. I know the university recommendation is easy from the embassy recommendation, because if you apply to a professor or university, they can write for you, they can recommendation for you, and it is easy to get a scholarship. And you can also contact with your country embassy, in Japanese embassy in your country, then they can give you instruction how we can apply for embassy recommendation for your undergraduate or also some masters or some doctorate level. You can ask to embassy. And I told the Japanese language, which is very important to get study in Japan, also get job in Japan. So there are 5 type of level in Japanese level, in named the JLPT, Japanese level professionality test. So on level is the highest level, the ability to understand Japanese use in the variety circumstances, and this type of fluency people can very much efficient to Japanese. And the N5 is the lowest level, the ability to understand some basic Japanese. And there are some another level, N4 level, the ability to some basic Japanese you can understand. And also there are, you can everyday use some N3 level, you have complete this type of exam. So this type of user can ability to understand Japanese in everyday situation and certain degree. Also N2 level, the Japanese everyday situation also. And there are two times you can take this exam in your country, maybe in the July, also the December. These 2 times you can test in your country in the JLPT. So if you have this type of certificate, then it is easy to get a job or higher study in Japan. And now I am introduced about how you can get job in Japan. So first of all, I know some students from Bangladesh, some university, they have no Japanese degree, but they are doing job in Japan as a software engineer or some IT engineer. And if you have some Japanese level, they are completed N4 level, N4 JLPT level from Bangladesh, and they interview some Japanese company in Bangladesh, and they got job in Japan. They are doing job. So if you have no Japanese degree, then you have a possibility to go to Japan for doing job. And if you have some Japanese degree you are doing in the Japan, or so first of all you can mindset and preparation for your JLPT of Japanese language test, and then you can job hunting in Japan. So you some company in your country, some Japanese company or some consultancy firm Japan sometime advertise in their they need to Japan engineer for Japanese company, then you can see and you can follow them. And also some consulting firm in Japan, they are also help about the job, and they are using some need to And if you are doing study in Japan, then there are some seminar in the university, some information you can take from your university, or then you can make your CV or resume by the Japanese, because English is not important in here. It's Japanese is very much important. Without Japanese, you cannot get a job in here. So you must be need a Japanese curriculum vitae or CV. Then you can attend some seminars, company seminars, some fair, job fair, some briefing session. They are tell you the Japanese. So if you must be complete your JLPT test, then maybe you can then you can understand their Japanese. So it is important. If you know Japanese, then it is very easy to get job in Japan. Then there are some writing exam or interview, if oral interview or some writing exam in their company. And if they can sort out, or if they can select you, then they can give you the offer or offer letter or assignment. And looking if you pass their exam, and then they can apply for you some visa, and they can give you some apartment, or they can search you some apartment. Then you can apply for visa, and then you can come to Japan and join the company. So this is the all procedure to get job in Japan. But first of all, you need to prepare you, and you need to complete your develop your skill, as like if you know the software, some software, or if you want to interested to some electrical, mechanical, or some robotic device. So you must be learn about it. You can do some project, or you can do your country some company experience. Or if you know some complete your Japanese level, that's must very much important, because if you have Japanese level, it is easy to get job in Japan. And there are many type of field you will get job in Japan. There are some type of field is some engineering, some software, IT. And I know some Bangladeshi also doing job in some software company, IT company in some Tokyo, some Osaka, Nagua, and some other cities. And there are some hospital or tourism, some business administration, accounting, some graphics designing, web designing, health special officer, and animation and video editing, animation. There are many game industry in Japan, because Japan is like game. So game industry, there are many game industry. If you make some game using some software, some language, software language, then it is important to get job in Japan. So there are many type of game industry in Japan. And if you know about it more, then you can visit www.eduardjapan.com. And there are many type of hardest situation for a foreigner if you want to get job in Japan. So there are some position for only foreigner, because foreigner does not know the very good Japanese. So it is need to submit Japanese resume and Japanese document to your company. And to overly language is very important, because mostly of the company need to N1 level, N2 or N3 level. But some company of the IT company and software company, they need to N4 or sometime N5 or N3. So there are some relax, but mostly company they need N2 or N3. So if you have good Japanese score, then you can or a level, then you can get easily Japan and apply easily. And the apply visa is there are many type of pharmacy, there are many type of document need, and there are mostly document in Japanese. So if you don't understand Japanese, so you don't understand the document. So it is an interview is also Japanese, no English. So it is the critical situation for a foreigner, and do not know how to looking job in Japan is also the, for if you are a student, there are a 28-hour legal permission for part-time job. But you are a full-time after your graduation. If you are a full-time onto full-time job, there is no 28. You must be do the full-time job. So this is on type of condition. And there are some differences in Japanese company. If you are enter in Japanese companies, so there if you want to live some days for the company, so it is difficult. And also some people is very much friendly, but mostly people is want to do work, but without work you cannot anything in the company. So it is important, and the company is very much strict in Japan, and their language is mostly Japanese. So it is very important. And there are if you are a hard worker, then it is possible to overcome this type of problem in Japanese company. And thank you all. This is my all presentation. And now it's time for question and answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farhan. It's always interesting if we talk about robot and technology. Okay, the next session is answer the question that has been asked by participant in the Zoom group chat. Okay, there are some questions that has been asked. Okay, the first one is from Ihsan, University of Jambi. He is asked, artificial intelligence has been applied to industrial robot, and what method of artificial intelligence have been applied, whether fuzzy logic or the other method? Okay. He is what the artificial intelligence that mostly used in the industrial.
Yes.
Okay, please.
But last one.
What?
Hello.
Yeah.
What is the last one? His question.
What, Mr. Farhan? Can you repeat it?
We are using the artificial intelligence robot in our industry. But what is his question?
Okay. Okay. Is fuzzy is used in industry? Fuzzy logic?
Oh.
Or only such as PID or any other nonlinear control?
Oh, PID. PID controller.
That is mostly used there. Maybe fuzzy is to slow in working or any other reason?
If we are using the artificial intelligence robot not only industry now, but there are some others type of robot. We are some humanoid robot also we are using, some working robot. I already show this type of Boston Dynamics robot in USA. They are using some method as like the fuzzy logic or some others method. So they are using it. And not only industrial robot, nowadays they are using many type of field in this type of artificial intelligence. In the game also, entertainment purpose also, our social media, this type of place we also use the artificial intelligence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Farhan. I think it's clearly what the question has been asked. Okay, the next question is from Anissa Miftanti from Institute Teknologi Sumatera. She is asked, what is the most visible component difference in type of robot in the material handling and welding section? What is the
difference
in robot material handling and welding section? What is the difference? The most visible component?
I am doing job in the industry, in the oiling industrial robot, oiling robot. So in this oiling robot, there is no camera, but this robot can only know the position, which position it can oiling or which position it can join, but there is no camera. But in this some object handling robot, they are using some cameras, and they can detect the color, or they can detect the object, and they can detect the object type of shape, so they can take the object one place to another place very easily. So maybe sometimes they are using some camera, or sometimes they are using some sensor in this handling robot. Also there are some sensor we are using in our welding robot. Thank you.
Okay. So the camera is most the visible component, yes?
Yes.
Okay. The next question is from Aprina Bila. She is from University of Lampung. The question is, in the medical sphere, how does robot innovation help corona patient so that the robot has the function of flexibility in reducing direct interaction with patient? Okay.
This robot, sorry, hello,
Yes.
please repeat the question. I cannot. Yeah.
Okay. In the medical sphere,
Yes, yes.
how does robot innovation help corona patient so that the robot has the function of flexibility in reducing the direct interaction with patient? Maybe you can show the slide that
Yes, yes.
about
About the coronavirus helping robots. So in this case, if you in this coronavirus situation, if a patient is affected with the coronavirus, if a human can go to bring the food or some medicine, then this human also can affect the coronavirus. But if you send a robot to a human, but this robot cannot affected by the coronavirus. So if you send by the robot for the food or some medical instrument or some, if this robot can test, then the robot cannot affect the coronavirus. So it is easy to use the robot in this coronavirus situation, I think.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farah. In Indonesia, maybe I want to add some answer that in Indonesia, ITS has been built a robot called Raisa. Maybe Raisa, it's called Raisa. It's from Institut Teknologi 10 November. Nah, that robot is used to bring back the medical, the medicine. So robot, the nurse cannot be infected by the
coronavirus.
Yes. It's minimized.
Yes.
Okay. And then the next question is from Farrell University. Farrell from University of Lampung. He asks the question that can we put this artificial intelligence in the UAV technology?
Oh, UAV in the drone technology. So if you want to apply this type of artificial intelligence, because we are doing research on this one, if you have some disaster, if you have a flash or some fire in the big buildings, then this type of artificial intelligence robot can go and protect the fire, or also prevent the fire, or also it can take some picture or some video from the disaster area, the flood area, also some tsunami, also some the heavy rain situation area. There are many people died, or many people are not moved on place to another place. Then that robot can give our information to the human. Then this type of maybe work we can use the artificial intelligence in the drone, in the UAV.
Okay. Okay, so we can use artificial intelligence in UAV such as to recognize any object
or some take some video, some take the picture from the disaster area which human cannot go very easily. So we can take some picture with the artificial intelligence. This robot, this type of drone can move his own artificial intelligence. So where is the human, where is the no human, then this robot can detect it automatically by his artificial intelligence.
Okay, maybe some question that is it possible to add artificial intelligence in microcontrollers such as Arduino or ARM32? Is it
Yes,
possible?
in this robot, in our team developed this robot, this on type of on type of the artificial intelligence robot, this on. So we use, there is some motor, some camera, also use the Raspberry Pi, also the Arduino device, also this the Arduino. So we can also use the microcontroller, so giving the programming for the artificial intelligence. So if it our wish, we can use some Raspberry Pi, also some Arduino, also some microcontroller. Because in the last time my bachelor degree project, we used the microcontroller PIC16F676, this part number we use in the automatic car robot. So we use this on as like artificial intelligent robot. So this robot can make decision. If there is an object in the front of the robot, then this robot can stop, and there is no object, this robot can go. And if there is a obstacle, then this robot can go to another path or another road. So this type of artificial intelligence robot, we can use the microcontroller also.
So we should use Raspberry Pi to put artificial intelligence, because the Raspberry Pi is have speed that more Arduino. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The next question is from Arif from Institute Teknologi Sumatera. What is the most popular programming language that being used currently in the industry?
There are some programming language is the Python is very popular nowadays.
Python.
Also, we are using the Java, some robot. Also, we are using C, C++, C#. This type of language we are using nowadays, and also some others programming. But this type of programming language is very popular nowadays. If you know this type of language, then you can get job easily in any type of company.
Okay. Okay, maybe there is question from Mr. Mr. Ehsanul Haq, Assistant Professor from Department of Physics. Okay. Who asked the question, which programming language is much more suitable for robotics?
I told the programming C or C++ or Python, Java. This type of language is important, or this type of language is we are using in this robot now.
Okay. Python is most popular, yeah?
Yes.
And then he asks, what kind of robot that can be used to have basic machine learning experiment? This is from Dr. Mohammed Ehsanul Haq from
What kind of robot?
American International University, Bangladesh.
What type of we can use to have physics machine to learning experience? So now nowadays we are using some industrial robotics hand. So this type of robotics hand can use to move component on place to another place. In this physics experience, machine also some robotics oiling machine, or also some robotics rearranging a machine, which robot can rearrange to our product very lowest time. So we can using nowadays this type of robot in our physical experience. Also, maybe there are some robot we are using some sensor. They are ultrasonic sensors, some the touch sensor, also some fire sensor. So we are using some another robot. So some company in Japanese company, as like the Komatsu robotics company, also some Honda, some also Panasonic, Mitsubishi, they are made this type of physical instrument or some physical robot to experiment in the robotics in this area.
Okay. Okay. Maybe this is the last question. What we have to do to start the learning robot?
So first of all, I told we need to learn the mechatronics engineering. So if you know the robot is not on thing, because the robot need to, if you knowledge about the software engineering, so it must be need to learn some programming language. You must be need to some electrical part, as like the resistor, capacitor, also motor, some sensor. So you must be need to learn some mechanical part. There you need to use some part of the mechanical, some aluminum sheet, some SS sheet, or some material. So this also the mechanical part. Some need to some wiring joint, some the grinding, some nailing, some drilling. This type of mechanical work you must be need if you make a robot. So this type of many type of thing you want to learn. But first of all, you must be learn from the programming. Then first of all, if you finish some programming, if you learn some programming, then you can start step by step. Then you can knowledge about some electrical part, some mechanical part, some electronics part, and some information part, and how you can some IoT part. So step by step you can start the robotics learning, because it is not you cannot finish in the all one day. So many years you need to learn it. Then you can be a good engineer, or you can be a good professional. That's like.
Okay, it's nice. Okay, maybe one question is okay, Mr. Farhan?
Okay.
Okay, one more question from Mr. Esanul, and I want to give him a special question that maybe he can ask directly.
Last one.
The last question. Hello, Mr. Ehsanuhak. Can we use phone?
What kind of robot we can use have the physical machine learning experience?
Okay.
Experience.
Okay.
And what
Maybe
about
from Masud Parfait? Okay.
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Esanul.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think this kind of arrangement of the webinar is very much effective and very much helpful for the researcher, not only for the robotics side, but also I mean the people who actually research based on the science or nanotechnology nowadays, because you know most of the things are very much intelligence types of work. So I think it will help us to have this kind of presentation, and I would like to give my gratitude to Mr. Farhan Firdaus for his nice presentation. And my question is, okay, so most of the time actually we use the electron microscope, okay? So in that case, we need much precision to have the results to publish in reputed journals. So in that case, maybe we use the artificial intelligence, I mean the electron microscope. So is there any scope to have the using the robotics to get the high precision result that can be believed by the reviewers in case of publication? So is there any scope that we can use the artificial intelligence to get the electron microscope image more reliable?
And so I know nowadays some company, some Japanese company as like the Omron Corporation, they are making some this type of device. You tell the telescope or some others medical device. They are make it, and some others company as like the Panasonic, they are make it. But I don't know exactly they are is in the market or it is now testing nowadays. So I am not exactly sure about it. It is for the customer nowadays, or they are testing about this machine. So maybe I will get some information, then I can tell about it.
Actually, I asked you this question because in most cases, actually we need very precise sample preparation to get the good electron image. But in case of if we have a good help from the artificial intelligence side, I mean, if we have a good help from the technological side, from the any robotics part, if there is any robotics part or any algorithms that we can have a more reliable result, because you know when something is involved manually, there is much possibility to get good wrong result. Okay, so artificial intelligence is very important to have touch in this case of science. So I just ask you this answer. So thank you very much. Maybe we can discuss it later. Okay.
Okay.
This is not your part of this job, I think. So I'm sorry for that. But okay, we will discuss it. Thank you very much.
Last, there is a question: can any robot use the digital assistant? So maybe I can tell this question last on. Can any robot use as a digital assistant, please? So there is one type of device, this is the Google Assistant. So this type of digital assistant can use in our home. If you tell the Google Assistant off the light, then this the off the light, off the television, or on the television. Or if you tell the Google Assistant on the AC or off the AC, then this can automatically do your voice reorganization. So this type of robotic device is nowadays using some place this type of Google Assistant. So this is one type of example for digital assistant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the questions and answer from the participant. Maybe I will take the conclusion of this webinar is about first the technology of robot is growing rapidly, and there are many jobs will be taken by robot, and what we can do is mastering the technology, or the technology will mastering us in many ways. Is it right?
If you some people told me if you use the robot or some automatic device, then many people can lose their job. But in Japan, they are using many robots in their medium industry to their big industry. They are using robot, but there are many jobs in Japan. But in this case, if you have some skill, good skill about the robot, about the IoT, machine learning, artificial intelligence, drone, this type of latest technology, if you know, and if you know some software or something, maybe you will get job easily. But if you have no skill, or if you have no efficient for your work, maybe you cannot get job, because nowadays it is very much critical to get a job without your higher skill or some special skills. So it is important to learn to achieve some higher skill in your personal site.
Okay, thank you. And then the first thing in this, there are so much things to study and work in Japan, and you can start by practicing English. But in Japan, it like the Japanese language is more important than English. Is it right?
Yes, because if you do some part-time job in Japan, when you are a student, then there needs some Japanese. But in my company, so I use some Japanese. Sometimes it's a small English, but mostly time we use the Japanese in with the communication, because they do not tell you if they even they know the English, but they do not tell you English. They only tell the Japanese, because the Japanese people only told this is Japan, so you must be learn Japan. So without Japanese, because in here there are every product in some AC, some micro oven, and also some rice cooker, and every type of product there right and must be Japanese, no English. So it is very much important or essential to learn Japanese if you are living in Japan or doing job in Japan or studying Japan.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, thank you, Mr. Farhan. Maybe this is the end, and I would say thank you so much to Mr. Farhan for sharing your experience and knowledge in robotics and technology, and to all participants for joining this international webinar. Maybe there is some short word from Mr. Farhan to all participants.
Thank you, Suadeki, lecturer, for inviting me and communicate with me, and also some your students, some robotics unit ITIRA, this university. So thank you to all to organize this type of international webinar on the robotics and the latest technology. I am happy to they are very much interested to know about some this type of webinar of this type of latest technology. So today thank to all, and thank to Allah to give the presentation in this webinar session, and thank you all participate, and thank you all who organize this type of webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Farhan. Okay, it look like the time is running out. Let me end this session by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
I will return the event to the MC. Please, Rian and Vina. Thank you, Mr. Farhan, and all participants.
Thank you to Mr. Swadeshi Sifara as moderator and Mr. Muhammad Farhan Firdaus as speaker for experience, information, and knowledge which have been given to us. May it be useful for us.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next event is photo session. I invite all participants to open your camera.
Please, Apri Nabila and Rahmat Gilang, open camera.
Oke, ayo open kamera.
Okay, cheese.
Coba.
Smile.
Smile. 1, 2, 3. Coba.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and cheese. Coba.
Okay, the next. Until 8 speeds, it look like.
Oh ya,
Oh no, on 3 pages that use camera, that open camera. Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for all participants.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we get the last question in the event closing. Let's close the event by saying Hamdan.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
As the master of ceremony, thanks to Mr. Muhammad Wahantada as speaker and Mr. Suryadip Kepala as moderator and the audience until the webinar. My life can conduct well in user home.
Okay, for your information, the webinar certificate will be sent to you maximum in 4 days through the email you use to register in this international webinar.
One more time, I say thank you very much for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rian Ferdianto.
I am Trivina Rohaini.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fahad. Thank you, all participants. Thank you, the committee, Rian.
Can you send the recording
Okay. Yes, I will send
and
the link.
picture also?
Ah,
Thank you.
send the link as soon as possible. Thank you, Mr. Fahad.